How's it going, everyone? Pop-Tart here. Welcome back to the Aeroteam channel. In today's expansion tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to build the Boeing 737-700 in 1.5:1 scale, using our previous 737-800 tutorial. The 737-700 is a low-capacity narrow-body airliner, part of the 737 Next Generation family. It first flew in 1997, and currently operates most widely with Southwest, United, WestJet, and Alaska throughout North America, with Southwest in particular boasting a massive fleet of nearly 400 of this type. In total, a little over 1,000 700s were built. Now, as I mentioned, this is an expansion tutorial, meaning that we'll be referencing our Boeing 737-800 tutorial as a base tutorial for this build. You can find this in a chart up on screen now, or as a link in the video description. When the time comes, I'll direct you to certain sections from it for this aircraft's shared common features, so make sure you have it ready to go on another tab. So, as for the build itself here, as I mentioned, this is in 1.5:1 scale, meaning that every 1 meter in real life is equivalent to 1.5 blocks exactly. If you are building an airport project in this scale, this will be perfectly to scale with all of our other 1.5:1 aircraft on the channel. As for our configuration options, this aircraft has 3 different wingtip types. The old bare wingtip without winglets, the blended winglets, and the split scimitar winglets. Apart from that, the 737 only has one engine option, the CFM56-7, so that's it for our configuration options here. As we progress through the tutorial, we'll break off to separate sections where those different wingtip options will be built, so you'll probably want to figure out ahead of time what you'd like to use for your aircraft. If you're building a replica of a real aircraft, you can select that based on what options the operator used, or if you're just building it for fun, you can select what you like most based on the preview close-ups shown. Now, before we get started, as always, this build does make use of our very own custom Aeroteam texture pack. A download link to the latest version of this pack can be found in the description below if you don't have it already. Now, if you are stuck using the default pack, if you're following along on console or something, I will always do my best to show you how to go about building this in default, but please do keep in mind that I highly recommend using the Aeroteam pack instead if you can, as it'll look much better. Anyways, with that all out of the way, let's get going on this tutorial. Alright, so first things first, here's some dimensions for you to help you figure out where you want to put this. This aircraft is 50 blots long, 53 blots wide with the winglets, or 51 blots wide without winglets, and 19 blots tall from the base of the landing gear to the tip of the vertical stabilizer. So just keep that all in mind as you're getting started. As for materials, here in the Aeroteam pack we're using the wool material coupled with the purper stairs and slabs for the smooth and shiny white coloration for the aircraft. If you're in default, you'll probably want to use quartz or smooth quartz as an alternative, so just use that instead whenever I'm building. For the purposes of this tutorial, I'll be referring to these as the wool stairs and slabs, but again, that's the purper stairs and slabs here in the Aeroteam pack. So, with that all out of the way, let's get started on the fuselage. Alright, so for layers 1 and 2 here, if you are building this aircraft landed on the ground, as I am here, you'll be wanting to start 3 blots off the ground, with a 2-blot space between, just like this. If you're building this aircraft in flight, then you can obviously just start wherever you'd like, but please do keep in mind that 2-block gap otherwise. So, we'll be starting right here with a single wool top slab. Behind this, we're going to switch over to the quartz top slab. We're going to place a quartz top slab going back right there. And if you are already building the aircraft out of quartz, as mentioned in the introduction, for accent details such as this, you'll probably want to use something like either cobblestone or polished diorite, depending on your preference. This here will be accenting out from the main fuselage itself as the nose gear door right here. To finish this off, we're going to have an upside-down quartz stair facing forwards right behind this, and then a bottom half quartz slab behind it. Then back to our wool, we have 3 full blocks of wool going back, 1, 2, and 3. Underneath this third block right here, we have a jungle button aligned perpendicular with the aircraft, or parallel actually, my bad, just like that. That is, in the Aeroteam pack here, a white button texture, as you can see. In default, just use a birch button instead, but we're using the jungle button here to better match the color of the real detail. Behind this, we're now going to be placing 4 blots of wool going back, behind the existing row of wool that is, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Underneath the 4th block back right here, we're going to place a lever flipped facing backwards for a radio antenna on the underside. Then forwards from this, we have 2 more jungle buttons, aligned parallel with the aircraft on the underside of these blocks. That should leave a 1 block space between the first one that we placed right there. Next, we have 2 more blots of wool going back from this row right there, 1 and 2, and that'll finish it off there. Next, going forwards from this, only on the right side here, it does get asymmetrical. We're going to place a single wool top slab to the right side of the rearmost block right there. Then 2 quartz top slabs going forwards from this. 1 and 2. This will be starting off the forward cargo door, which is only on the right side of the aircraft here. Then we have one wool top slab going forwards from that there. Next, we're going to grab a stone button, and we're going to place a stone button on the side of this top slab right here. Now, as you may know, in vanilla Minecraft, it's not possible to place buttons on transparent blocks such as half slabs. So for this, we're going to be using a mod called World Edit. So, we'll place a temporary block out to the right side right there, grab a stick or any old item, type the command /repl0 to switch this over to the replace tool. Next, place a stone button on the right side of this block right here. Back to your stick, select that stone button by left-clicking on it right there, switch to a different item to clear it out, then back to the stick, right-click on the wool full block, or the temporary block, to paste it over like so. Now, if you are without access to World Edit right here, what you can use instead if you do have access to commands in vanilla is the debug stick with /give @p debug_stick, like so. I have to use a different command here on the server, so like this. Here's a debug stick I can use. For this, it's a slightly different application. We'll place a temporary block off to the right side right here, stone button on the side right there, so it's in the same block space, but on that temporary block, basically. Next, with the debug stick here, we'll continuously left-click on this to select the facing property, and then just keep right-clicking on it until it's on that top slab right there, and we can knock out the temporary block, like so. Now, if you don't have access to either of these, you can leave tricky details such as this out for this one and throughout the rest of the tutorial, but I highly recommend that you do include them if you can, as it adds just a little bit more life to the aircraft. This button in particular right here is for a static port on the side of the fuselage. But once we have that, we have 6 wool top slabs going forwards from this right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, like so. On the right side here, from that same block that we started with, that's going to be 4 wool top slabs going forwards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Out to the side of this wool top slab right there. Temporary block to the side, and then paste over the stone button, or your debug stick trick if needed. And that's for that same static port right there. This one is symmetrical on both sides. And then we have 6 wool top slabs going forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Next, going back from this here, we're going to place a single block of wool behind the center right there, with one more out to the sides to make that a row of 3. Then a second row of 3 across the center right there. From the first exposed wool full block there, we have a wool top slab on either side. Then going back from this here, an upside-down wool stair facing in towards the center of the aircraft, like this. Behind this, let's see here. Well, on the outer blocks of these 3 exposed wool full blocks right here, we have a single full block of diorite, just like this, on both sides. In the Aeroteam pack here, as you can see, diorite is a dark braid brick texture like this. Just use stone bricks instead, or actually probably grey wool for this application in default here. And out to either side of this right here, we're going to place an upside-down wool stair facing forwards, like so. Then, underneath this here, we're going to grab the birch trapdoor. And we have a row of 3 birch trapdoors across the center, so that's 1, 2, and 3. Underneath this, dropping down, like so, on the top half of that block. In the Aeroteam pack here, as you can see, the birch trapdoor is a wool texture to blend with our fuselage detailing here. In default, just use iron trapdoors instead for these, but the one thing to look out for is, of course, in default, the iron trapdoors have holes in them, so you'll want to cover them up with wool blocks on the upper side, just so that they are fully opaque and you don't have any holes through the aircraft when you are doing that. But the detail we just built with the stairs there is the pack inlets at the base of the wing box for the air conditioning here. And the last thing we'll do up here before we move on with the wing box is, let's put in a... So, on the underside of the center block of the rear of this 2x3 blocks right here, underneath this one, we'll place a lever flipped facing backwards right there for another radio antenna on the underside right there. And then on the right block, right to the right of it here, we have a stone button aligned parallel with the aircraft, just like this. And once those 2 are in now, we can move on. So, behind both of these upside-down stairs right here, for the inlet vents there, we have 11 full blocks of wool going back. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And going back up to the front right here, from these trapdoors, we're going to place a row of 5 trapdoors across the center right now, covering up this entire span, like so. This is going to go back for a total of 5 rows of 5 right here, so that's 1 there already. That's going to be 2. Oops. 3. There we go. 4. And 5, like so. Next, in the center block right here, we're going to place a polished granite top slab right here. In the Aeroteam pack, this is a red slab texture, like this, just use Brits instead in default. But this will be the beacon anti-collision light on the underbelly of the aircraft right here. And we just have 2 more birch trapdoors out to either side to finish that up. Then, this time, we have just 1 birch trapdoor on the outer blocks right there. And then, into the center of this right here, we're going to go up a layer right there, and we have a black wool full block above this on both sides right there, on the second block out from the center. And then underneath these, a stone button aligned perpendicular with the aircraft this time, like so. And then in the center here, 1 more birch trapdoor going back from the polished granite right there. These will be the exposed wheels of the landing gear when retracted into the fuselage right here. So the 737 didn't have a complete gear door, and the main landing gear wheels were visible from the exterior when the landing gear retracted. Next, now that we have that, we'll place another set of 5 birch trapdoors across the center right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This will be a set of 2 right here. So that's 1 row there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's 2. And then we have just 3 trapdoors across the center right here. 1, 2, and 3. Like so. Next, this last exposed block of wool right here from the sides, we'll close this off with a set of 3 wool across the center right there to close up that gap from the underside. From this row of 5 that was created right there, on the left block only, we're going to place a lever, flipped facing backwards underneath that block right there, for another radio antenna there. This isn't present on the right side. What we are going to do now is place a set of 3 wool across the center right there, behind that row of 5, with a wool top slab out to either side right there, to finish off the wing box curvature. And then underneath the center block of these 3 is another lever flipped facing backwards right there. Next, we have 2 blocks of wool going back from the center, 1 and 2. On the right side only here, for some more asymmetry, we have 2 wool top slabs going back, then 2 quartz top slabs behind this, 1 and 2. And that'll start off the aft cargo door. Next, behind the wool right there, that's going to be 3 wool top slabs going back, 1, 2, and 3. And then 4 wool top slabs back from this last exposed wool full block there, 1, 2, 3, and 4. The last thing we can do now for this set of layers is, from the black wool full blocks right here, we'll grab a, not granite, andesite full block, which I didn't have prepared in my inventory. So in front of these 2 black wool full blocks right here, we're going to place a row of 3 andesite across the center right there. Behind the black wool blocks, a white wool full block, oops, that's a trapdoor, full block right there. And then we'll place a stone brick wall in the center between these, like so. And then behind this, another set of 3 andesite, 1, 2, and 3, like so. This will just start off some of the wheel well detailing here. But with that, that is everything for layers 1 and 2. Alright, so for layer 3 here, we'll be starting right on top of the wool top slab from the previous layer. We have a block of wool above it, then another full block going forwards, and a wool top slab forwards from that, like so. Out to either side of the rearmost wool block right there, we have a wool top slab on the sides. Then going back from this right here, only on the right side, we're going to have 9 wool full blocks going back. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Like so. And then, there's the reason for that asymmetry. 2 more quartz half slabs going back to finish off the forward cargo door right there. And then just 1 full block of wool back from that there. On the left side, that's going to be 12 wool full blocks to meet up with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. From the rearmost wool full block right there, we have 9 wool top slabs going forwards. So starting from the side right there, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Same thing on the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And now only on the left side right here, forwards from that last top slab right there, we have a stone button on the left side of that wool full block right there. Again, only on the left side, this is asymmetrical. This is for a temperature probe on the side of the nose right here. There's only one of these that's not present on the right side. So, going back from this now, we're going to be placing 11 wool full blocks behind these wool top slabs right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Like so. Same thing on the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Next, we'll grab the andesite slabs. Between these last exposed wool blocks right here, we have 3 andesite slabs across the center, and then 3 more forwards from that right there to cover up the gear well. And then behind the wool full blots, we're going to place another set of 4 wool blots going back. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. Next, only on the right side here, we're going to be stepping into the center right here from this, a block in towards the center. We have 2 wool full blots going back, and then 2 quartz half slabs to finish off the aft cargo door there. Then 2 full blots of wool going back right there. On the left side, we're going to step a block in, and that's going to be 6 blots of wool going back. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That should meet up right there. We'll drop 1 more towards the center to close up that gap from the underside, and 1 more full block of wool going back from that there. Then from the long rows of wool blots on the side right here, behind this we're going to drop 4 wool top slabs on both sides. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like so. And then behind these last 3 exposed wool blots right here, that's going to be 2 wool top slabs each. So that's 1 and 2. 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. And with that, that'll be everything for layer 3. Alright, so for layer 4 here, we're going to be starting right on top of the wool top slab from the previous layer, with a single full block of wool right there, then 1 more going back from it. Next, step out to the sides right here, we have 3 blots of wool going back, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3 on both sides there. And on the forwardmost block right here of these 3, we have a stone button out to either side, like so. This is for actually a cluster of instruments. On the right side here, it is 2 pitot tubes and an angle of attack vane. On the left side, it's only 1 pitot tube and an angle of attack vane. But for all 5 of these, well, 3 and 2, they all pretty much occupy the same block space since they're so tiny, so it's just a single button that's representing these here. Next, we're going to step out to the sides again from this, and we have 2 full blots of wool going back, so that's 1 and 2, right there. And on the right as well, 1 and 2. And behind this, a full block of quartz on both sides right there, to start off the forward entry doors. Then behind this here, we're going to place 3 blots of wool going back, 1, 2, and 3. On the side of this here, we have a stone button right there, for another static port on the side of the fuselage there. And same thing on the right side, 1, 2, and 3, and a stone button there. This one is, again, symmetrical across both sides. Then we have 4 blots of wool going back, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And up to the side of this one, we have a torch right here. As you can see in the Aeroteam pack here, the torch is a custom lamp model, like this. This will be representing the wing light, illuminating the leading edge of the wing to check for icing. In default, without this model, a stick will look pretty stupid just sticking out at the side of the aircraft here, for the torch that is. So to better represent this, you could either use another button, or perhaps an upside down stair facing out to the side right there to kind of give that panel indication. But this is the solution here that we're using in the Aeroteam pack. Again, that's 4 blots going back, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and your torch or other solution out to the side right there. Next, we have 5 blots of wool going back, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then a quartz full block behind both of these right here. This will be for the single overwing emergency exit right here on both sides. Behind this, we're now going to be placing 15 blots of wool going back, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, kitty! 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. On the right side as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Like so. Behind this, we have 2 wool top slabs on both sides, 1 and 2. And then 2 blots of wool in towards the center right here to close off that gap. I'm going to have to check my audio balance right here to make sure that isn't too loud. 1 second. Alright, good thing I checked that. That was indeed pretty loud. I've now moved the cap to a safer place for recording. So, behind both of these wool blots right now, we'll be placing a single blot of quartz on both sides, and this will be starting off the aft doors right here. Underneath this, on the right side right here, we have a jungle button aligned parallel with the aircraft, like this, and on the left side right here, underneath this quartz block, it'll be a lever flipped facing backwards once more right there. Next, we're going to be placing a set of 3 wool blots across the center right here, 1, 2, and 3. Then 1 block in the center right there, and then 2 wool top slabs back from the outer blocks right here, 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. In the center block, we have a quartz upside down stair facing forwards, like this, with a quartz top slab behind it. This will be for the tail skid wheel here to prevent tail strikes, and to finish this off, underneath this underneath the upside down stair right there, we're going to place a temporary block with a stone button aligned perpendicular with the aircraft right here. Select that and then paste over with the Roll Edit Replace tool. And if you can't use any tricks to place that in, you can just leave it out if you need to. But that's what we're using here. And with that, that is everything for layer 4. Alright, so for layer 5 here, We'll be starting from this set of 2 wool full blocks at the front of the previous layer right here. On top of the second block back right here, the rear one, we'll place a single wool half slab on the bottom half right there. Behind this, we have a black wool full block going back right there, with a wool half slab out to either side. Next, we're going to be using another trick from the Aeroteam pack here. For this, we want the wool, or the black wool top slabs on the top half right here to continue the cockpit glass, while keeping the wool slabs on the bottom layer. For this, we have a utility texture here in the Aeroteam pack on the light blue glazed terracotta. This has 4 different rotational orientations, depending on how you place it. We want the orientation with the white wool on the bottom half and the black wool on the top half, like this. For me, that's facing down the aircraft, like this, so just find whichever one it is for you. We'll be placing 2 of these going back from each of these wool half slabs right there. This is because in 1.5:1 scale, the cockpit glass is situated between block layers, right, like this, so it's a top slab in this layer and a half slab in the next layer up to finish it off. Now, since this is a bit tricky, if you don't have access to the Aeroteam pack for this, what you can do instead in default is use a nether brick half slab, 2 of these on the top half right there, 2 top slabs, and then white wool full blocks in the center right there to close up that space. But that will leave you with both an indent from the outside here, and you'll also lose the interior space for the flight deck. So this is why we're using that system right there with the top slabs in the utility texture right there. So, stepping out from this now, we have 2 wool full blocks going back right there, like so. Then behind this, a quartz full block on both sides. Out to the sides of this now, we're going to place a stone button on the outside of this quartz full block right there for the handles of the L1 and R1 doors here. And then a single full block of wool back from both of these here. Next, we have 7 wool stairs facing forwards going back from this right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This will be starting off the windows in this layer right here. Same thing on the right side, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, regular stairs facing forwards. Then we're going to switch directions right here. We have 4 wool stairs facing backwards, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4, like this. Same thing on the right side, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that spacing there represents a window that's blocked off in the forward fuselage there, as you can see. Apparently, the reason for that blockage is because of air conditioning ducts running up the side of the fuselage right here. So that's why there's a gap in the windows. So, going back from this now, we have a quartz stair facing backwards on both sides to finish off the overwing emergency exit doors right there. And then 15 wool stairs facing backwards. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And on the right side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Next, we have 2 blocks of wool going back from these on both sides, and then a quartz full block on both sides, back from that wool block right there. And on the side of this, again, stone button out to the side right there for the door handles. Step a block in towards the center right here. We have 4 blocks going back, well, actually, 4 blocks back on the left side only right here for some more asymmetric detailing. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4 right there. Next, on the second block forwards from the rear block right there, right here, we have a stone button on the left side right here. Then on the right side, that's going to be a single wool full block right there, and an upside down wool stair facing backwards in this space, followed by 2 more wool blocks going back to line up right there. To close up this gap right here, that's going to be a diorite full block in towards the center right there. This will be for a vent that's only present on the right side of the aircraft here. And again, we have that stone button on the second block forwards from the rear edge right there, right behind that stone, or that wool upside down stair right there. Next, wool top slab going back from both of those wool rows, with a wool full block in towards the center to close up that gap. Second block going back, and then 2 wool top slabs going back, like so. And with that, that'll be everything for layer 5. Alright, so for layer 6 here, we'll be starting right on top of the black wool full block from the previous layer right here, with a single nether brick half slab on the bottom half right there. Next, we have a white wool top slab going back from this right here, like so, with a nether brick half slab out to either side. Next, we once again have to pull out the light blue glazed terracotta here, and for this time, we want, behind this right here, the orientation with the black wool on the bottom half and the white wool on the top half, which for me is this way, facing the left. We'll place one of those behind each of these nether brick half slabs right there. This will finish off the cockpit glass here. Now this time, this one will be a bit trickier to leave out if you don't have the Aeroteam patch, because you can't just have a nether brick half slab right there and do the indentation as before, because that top slab right there, well, the top slab component of the white wool there is now part of the forehead curvature. So instead, what you'll probably want to do is use a white wool top slab right there, and then a nether brick half slab in towards the center to close off that space, like this. It'll be a little bit goofy looking, but it'll probably get the point across. But again, that's why we're using this solution right here in the Aeroteam pack. Once we have that in place now, we'll next be placing a white wool top slab back from both of those terracotta blocks there, with a half slab out to either side, like so. Next, a single white wool full block back from both of those, with a single block of quartz behind both of those there. Next, we have a long row of 30 white wool blocks going back from both of these quartz blocks right here, on both sides. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. On the right side as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Like so. Behind this here, we have a quartz half slab, with a quartz top slab in towards the center, to finish off the curvature of those rear doors there. Behind this, on both sides, we have 3 blocks of wool going back, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, like so. Then next, another stone button out to the side of the rearmost of those 3 wool blocks right there. And these 2 buttons on the side represent a set of trim indicators for the horizontal stabilizer trim. And for that trim now, we'll next be placing a stone stair, an upside-down stone stair facing to the left, behind that wool block right there, and one facing to the right on the right side there. Then a wool full block behind both of these, and a stone full block in the center, stepping into the center block right there, like this. And again, this will be for the stabilizer trim for the horizontal stabilizers there. Next, going back from that stone block in the center, we have 2 blocks of wool, 1 and 2, and then a cobblestone full block in the center right there, with a stone button behind it right there. This will be for the APU exhaust on the tail of the aircraft right here, and that'll be everything for layer 6. Alright, so to cap off the fuselage, we now have layer 7. So, we'll be starting right from the wool top slab of the previous layer right there. We'll drop a block back from this with a wool half slab in between all 3 of these top slabs right there. Next we have one more half slab drawing back from this, with a wool stair facing forwards, a regular stair, like so. Wool half slab out to either side of this there, and then one more drawing forwards to finish off the forehead curvature there. And then behind both of these outer half slabs we have another wool stair facing forwards, like so. On both sides there. In the center block going back from this here, we have 33 wool top slabs. We'll be using top slabs here to make space for the interior when we get to that later. But that's 1 there. That's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and 33. Like so. Then out to both sides here, we have 29 wool full blocks going back from these stairs. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. Same thing on the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. Like so. We'll get back to the tail cone layering in a second, but next we'll continue on with the top fuselage detailing. So, for this, starting in the center row right here, starting from the first exposed wool block right there, not the stair, but this block, we're going to be skipping 2 blocks, so that's 1 and 2, like this. On the third block right here, we have a jungle button aligned parallel with the aircraft, like so. Then skip 1 block. On the second block right here, another jungle button. Then skip 2 blocks going back, that's 1 and 2. On the third block right here, another jungle button. Then skip 3 blocks going back, 1, 2, and 3. On the fourth block right here, we have a dark oak button aligned parallel with the aircraft right here. This is a red texture here in the Aeroteam pack. In default, you can probably just use an acacia button instead, but this will be representing the red beacon light on top of the aircraft right here, the correspondent of its bottom counterpart right there. Behind this, we'll skip 1 block going back. On the second block right here, we have another lever, flit facing backwards, for another radio antenna right here. Then we'll switch over to the Acacia button this time. Skip one block on the second block right here, skipping one block again. That's an Acacia button right there, aligned parallel with the aircraft, right here. Skip one block again, and on the second block, a second Acacia button right there, aligned parallel with the aircraft. In default, for this, well, as you can see here, the Acacia button is a black wool texture here in the Aeroteam pack, so in default you can use either a dark oak button or a polished blackstone button, depending on your game version. But these here will be representing two black fairings covering the ADF radio antennas right here. Next, we'll be skipping 6 blocks going back, so I'll grab a temporary block to count this one. So behind this, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then another lever right there, flit facing backwards. We can clear out those temporary blocks right there. This lever right here will be for the ELT antenna, which is the emergency locator transmitter. And now as a final sanity check, we should place 5 blocks going back right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that should line up with the white wolf full blocks from the outer layer. Perfect. That's all the top surface detailing done there. So throw that away now, and to finish off the aft fuselage layering right here, we'll place a wool stair facing backwards behind both of these row wools right there, and then 5 wool half slabs on the bottom half going back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. In the center here, that's going to be 7 wool full blocks going back from the top slab. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then a single, there it is, cobblestone half slab on the bottom half right there to finish off the APU exhaust. That'll be everything for layer 7, and with that, that is everything for the fuselage. Alright, so with the fuselage ready to go now, well, let's be building the common features from the 737-800 tutorial, as mentioned in the introduction. So, over on its tab, you'll be wanting to start with the vertical stabilizer. So, use the timestamps in its respective video description to navigate to the start of the vertical stabilizer, and from that base tutorial, you'll be building the vertical stabilizer, the horizontal stabilizers, and the wings. You'll be stopping when the title card in the top left switches over to the engine section, as we'll be building the engine separately for this tutorial. You'll see why when we get to it later, but for now just make sure you have those 3 sections built and ready to go, and I will see you once that's done. So, with your vertical stabilizer, horizontal stabilizers, and wings now in place, it should look exactly like this. Now, we are going to make one tiny adjustment right here with the horizontal stabilizers. So, we're going to grab the stonebrick slabs from the row of stonebrick slabs at the end right here. From this very last one in the row, we're going to drop up the slab layer right here, where we have this single smooth stone top slab right there. We're going to knock that out and replace it with a stonebrick slab right there. Same thing on the right side, like so. So our 737 design is now several years old, and this is a correction that we've made in the years since then. So the elevator here should go all the way out to the end right here, leaving 2 blocks of space, not 3. It was too short initially. So that's a correction that we've made here, and will apply here as well. And the horizontal stabilizers is the same across all 737 next generation aircraft, and this is now the correct updated design. So if you have built any of our other 737 tutorials in the past, please do feel free to apply this update to them. With that done now, well, let's be moving on to the engines. Alright, so next up here, we'll be building our 2 CFM56-7B engines. Now the reason that we're building these separately here, instead of just using the ones from the base tutorial, is that in the years since our last 737 tutorial, Morales has completely redesigned our 737 CFM56 engines. So I'll be showing how to build these new ones in this tutorial, and this will be the design replacing the old engines going forwards. So, just like the elevators here, please do feel free to apply this to any previous 737s you may have built, and please do use these engines in the future going forwards. But for this here, we're going to be starting with a single white wool half slab on the bottom half going forwards from the engine pylon right here, these 4 smooth stone blocks. Then forwards from this here, we're going to be placing a stone slab on the bottom half. Underneath this stone slab right there, we're going to be placing a spruce trapdoor on the top half. In the Aeroteam pack here, as you can see, this is a stone trapdoor texture. Just use another iron trapdoor in default. Now to the sides from this, we're going to have a stone stair, an upside-down stone stair facing towards the center of the engine, if I can get that in place. There we go. On both sides, like so. And then beneath this, another stone stair, this time a regular stair, facing in towards the center, like so. Then, in between these 2 bottom stairs right here, we have a spruce trapdoor on the bottom half, and then a spruce trapdoor on the top half, below it, right there. And this will give the slightly squished cross-section that's characteristic of the 737's engines. And if you're not already familiar with the 737, the original 737-100 and 200 designs from the 1960s, which we also have a tutorial for on the channel by the way, The engines back then were so small that the ground clearance was so low to the ground that there really wasn't room for the new large engines when they were doing the re-engineering program for this in the 90s. So the CFM56-5 series that's on the Airbus A320 is nice and round because they have the ground clearance for it, but on the 7 series here, on the 737 next generation, they had to relocate the accessory gearbox from the underside of the engine here to the sides of the engine in order to shave off a little bit of ground clearance to make it fit in place. So because of that, the engine has a very squished underside that you can definitely tell when you're looking at it, especially from the front on in the real world as well. But that's what we have going on there. So with that tangent aside, let's now put in the intake fan. So for this here, we're going to be using the polished blackstone stairs. So in the center block right here, behind that top of the 2 trapdoors right there, we have a single polished blackstone stair facing to the left, like this. Then we'll grab a polished blackstone full block, if I can find one here. There we go. We have a full block to the left, like so. Then an upside down stair facing to the left, or to the right rather, above it, like so. A second stair facing to the right of that. Then a full block right there. And finally, underneath this, a polished blackstone stair facing to the right, like so. That'll make this pattern from the inside looking just like this. And then we can, for now, seal this off with black wool from the back right here. That's black terracotta. That's still not black wool. There's black wool. Black wool behind all 4 of those exposed stairs, like so. Next, for the sides right here, moving on with the cowling, we're going to be closing 2 birch trapdoors against the sides of those blackstone blocks right there, with a birch trapdoor on top, like so, and a birch trapdoor underneath. Drop down a layer right here. Well, we actually have a row of 3 across the center right here. So 1, 2, and 3, like so. Can hop it up again, and then close 2 trapdoors against the inside, and 1 on top of the blackstone right there. Next, we'll place a temporary block behind both of those right there to box off that from the sides, just so that we can close more trapdoors against it right here. So 2 more trapdoors there, then another trapdoor on top. Same thing on the inboard side, trapdoor on top there, 2 trapdoors close against the sides, and then 3 more trapdoors on the underside across the bottom right there. Then, working our way back here, we have 3 more top slabs, or top half trapdoors across the center right there, and 1 single trapdoor going back in the center, like so. Next, we're going to place a temporary block on the, well, not really temporary block, we don't have to worry about that, just 2 wool trapdoors, full blocks going up from both of those trapdoors on the outer sides right there. This time, we're only going to close a trapdoor against the bottom block right there, leaving the top block exposed, like so. So a trapdoor on the bottom block right there, and that will be it for that curvature. So this will start to taper off the rear of the engine cowling right here. Then we have 2 more white wool full blocks going back from that there. Then an upside down wool stair facing backwards behind both of those there, and wool half slab on the bottom half behind both of those, and then 2 white wool full blocks in the center to close up that gap there. Next, for the exhaust nozzle right here, we're going to place 2 diorite full blocks behind both of those white wool blocks right there. And then for the exhaust cone in the center, we have an andesite top slab behind that bottom slab right there, or the bottom full block, and then an andesite stair facing to the left on top of it, like so. Next up here, we'll come back to the cowling on the inboard side right here. From this forwardmost trapdoor right here, this trapdoor set, well, from the forwardmost of the top trapdoors right here, we're going to place a temporary block between these 2 trapdoors, just like this, basically. On top of this, we're going to place a jungle button aligned, aligned parallel with the aircraft, like this. We'll select this with World Edit and then paste over, like so. This is for a small aerodynamic strike on the inboard side of the engine right here, and this just helps to improve the airflow over the wing at high angles of attack. So if you don't have access to World Edit and can't place that button in for this tiny little strike right here, what you can do instead is use a carpet, which should balance on top of that trapdoor nicely right there, and that'll still give you that strike in place right there, but we like to use this instead here. Next, if you do have World Edit, we can do one last final thing to the intake fan right here. What we're going to do for our design is corner off these stairs right here, and that'll just help to improve the depth of the intake fan right here. So for this is all going to just turn into corner stairs facing forwards. So for this bottom stair right there, we have a stair facing to the left. We'll place a stair facing forwards to the left of it right there to corner it off to the forward side. Select that, then paste over the bottom one. We can do the same for the top stair right there. So upside down stair facing to the left, or to the right rather. Stair facing forwards, corner it off, select and paste over right there. Next we have the regular stair facing to the left, corner that off, select and paste over. And then we can actually just use that same corner stair right there and paste that over that top left one right there, using that same one from the center. And that is the design for the intake fan right there. And that is almost everything for the engine. We have one final thing to cover that is an option for this. So, the 737 later in its life experienced the PIP, the Performance Improvement Package. This featured a small number of aerodynamic improvements around the aircraft, including things such as more aerodynamically rounded beacon lights, but that's not really something that we can replicate here because we are working with solid meter-by-meter blocks here in Minecraft. What we can represent, though, is an improvement to the exhaust nozzle that this featured here. So the PIP design featured a shorter exhaust nozzle, while still leaving the exhaust cone at the same length sticking out of it. Now, I will repeat, this is an option, so all 737s prior to this still used the standard exhaust nozzle design right here. So if you're building a replica of a real 737 that does not use the PIP upgrades, or if you just like the look of this, then you can just leave the exhaust cone as it is here. But if you would like to use the PIP design instead here, this is very simply represented by replacing these direct full blocks right here with direct stairs. So the bottom block right here is going to be an upside-down direct stair facing backwards, and the top block is going to be a regular direct stair facing backwards like this, and that'll corner off with the andesite stair there. So, small little change right there, but that reflects the change in the real aircraft. So, with that, that is everything for the left-hand engine now, and we'll just be doing the same thing on the right side. So, do it all again. I'll take this one a little bit faster since we've already done this once now. We have our wool half slab forwards from the engine pylon right there, stone slab forwards from that, then the trapdoor on the underside of that, a stone stair upside down facing towards the center on both sides right here, like so. Oops. Like so. And then a regular stair facing towards the center beneath both of these. I did not mean to break the floor. There we go. Then the trapdoor in towards the center, and a trapdoor below it. That'll finish off the intake cowling right there. Next, going back from this, it is worth mentioning that the design for the intake fan right here will not change from left to right. This does not mirror. It's the exact same engine on the left and right. So, we have a Blackstone stair facing to the left, right there, in the center. Upside down stair facing to the right, on top of it. Blackstone full block to the right of that, and then a regular stair facing to the right, or to the left, rather, below that, just like this. Blackstone full block to the left of that center stair right there, and another upside-down Blackstone stair facing to the right-hand side, well, right facing down the engine, like this, making that pattern right there. We'll do the same thing where we block off all of the holes from the upside-down stairs, or from the stairs in general, with the black wool full blocks right there, then fill in those blocks with white wool, or black wool, doesn't really matter, just anything in that space right there, so that we can close a 2x2 of birch trapdoors against the sides right here. 1 and 2, 1 and 2 right there, and 2 birch trapdoors on top of both of those blocks there. Next we have our 3 birch trapdoors across the center right there, if I can reach that space, there we go. Then another row of 3, 1, 2, and 3. A third row of 3 going back, 1, 2, and 3, and then 1 in the center right there. Next, 2 wool full blocks going up from both those trapdoors on the sides right there. Then an upside-down wool stair facing... Not upside-down wool stair, I'm getting ahead of myself. Then 2 more wool full blocks right there. And then we'll close a birch trapdoor against the forwardmost bottom block right there on both sides. Just like this. Now we'll get to that upside-down stair. So that's an upside-down wool stair facing backwards on both sides there. Wool half slab on the bottom half on top of that there. 2 wool full blocks in towards the center to close up that gap there. Then for the exhaust here, again, we have that option. So we'll start with the standard design. 2 direct full blocks behind that there. Andesite top slab going back from the bottom block there, and an andesite regular stair facing to the outboard side here, like this. Or if you'd like to include the PIP design, which I'll do here just for fun, that's an upside down diorite stair facing backwards right there, and a regular stair on top of it to corner off, like so. Finally, we'll place in that aerodynamic straight on the inboard side right here. So while the internal engine itself and the fan do not mirror left to right, the straight here does mirror because this is for the inboard side only. So that'll be a temporary block right there between those 2 trapdoors. Jungle button on top, aligned parallel with the aircraft, select that and paste over right there. And then finally, you can corner off the Blackstone stairs here if you're able to. So, corner that stair there in the center, then the upside down stair above it, like so. and that one going to the left as well, and then the regular stair facing to the left. Corner that off, select and paste over the bottom right block right there. And with that, that is everything for the engines. So, with the engines now in place, well, let's be moving on to our wingtip options. So, as covered in the introductions, your three options are to either leave the wingtips as they are here, with no winglets, or to use the blended winglets, or the split scimitar winglets. Now, while these winglets are the same across all 737 Next Generation aircraft, we will not be using the design from the 737-800 tutorial here. And again, this is one of those designs that has improved in the years since the 800 tutorial was made. However, I have already covered the new winglet designs in our 737-900 conversion tutorial, so I'll be referencing you to that instead. You can find it on the card up on screen now, or as a link in the video description. So, if you aren't building the winglets, and you're just leaving the wingtips as they are here, with no winglets installed, then you won't have to worry about that at all, and you can just leave these as they are here, and just wait out the end of this section. If you are building the winglets, then you'll be going over to the 737-900 conversion tutorial, and starting with the section Blended Winglets, from the timestamps in its respective video description. Now, if you aren't familiar with how the 737 works, the split scimitar winglets are a small extension onto the blended winglets. So, if you're building just the blended winglets, then you'll be building just the blended winglets from the 737-900 conversion tutorial, and returning back here. If you're building the split scimitar winglets, then from the 900 tutorial, you'll be building the blended winglets and the split scimitar winglets, and returning here once that's done. So, with that all covered, just build the wingtip devices of your choosing, and I will see you once that's ready to go. So, with your winglets installed now, if you chose to use the blended winglets, it should be looking just like this. Or if you chose to use the split scimitar winglets, it should be looking just like that. Now we have one last small little option that we can cover here for the 737-700, and that is the eyebrow windows. So the very earliest 737 Next Generation models still retained the eyebrow windows from older aircraft types, such as the original 737 series, or the 707, 727, which were small little windows above the main cockpit glass here, that were thought to provide better visibility for the flight deck. But pretty early on in the 737NG's life, these were abandoned entirely, so these days nearly all 737-700s were either never installed with eyebrows in the first place, or had their old eyebrow windows blocked off. However, a very select few still do have the eyebrow windows, and that's a very characteristic feature of the 737-700 here, most notably with a few examples in the fleets of Alaska and WestJet. So if you would like to include this, we can do this by coming to the cockpit glass right here, where we have this top light blue glazed terracotta right here, with the white wool on the top half right here. We'll just knock that out and replace it with a black wool faux block, like so. And we can do the same thing on the right-hand side right there. And that's our eyebrow windows in place. Simple as that. So with all of that covered, that is everything for the exterior of the in-flight aircraft, and well, let's be moving on to the interior. Alright, so to begin the interior here, we'll be first returning to the base 737-800 tutorial once more, as the initial flight deck and galleys are all shared between the 737s. So, on the base 737-800 tutorial, use the timestamps in its respective video description to skip ahead to the interior section, and complete the first few sections going forwards through it, until the title card in the top left corner switches over to the first class section, which is at the timestamp 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 5 seconds. At this point, pause that video and return back to this one, and we'll carry on with the shortened economy class section for this tutorial. So just get that built and ready to go, and I will see you once that's done. So with your flight deck and forward galleys done now, it should be looking just like this. We have one small change to make for the flight deck here. So in the original tutorial, I had you use a jungle log for the half black, half light blue texture for the cockpit instruments here. In the years since that original tutorial was made, we've shuffled around our pack quite significantly, so that is no longer on the stripped logs anymore. The closest approximation we have now is the red glazed terracotta. You'll want to find the orientation with the light blue texture like this on the bottom half right here. It's now this wood texture instead for this. And then behind that black wool faux block, we'll just place that stonebrick slab back, so it should give you cockpit instruments looking just like this. And we can get rid of those now. So, next up here, from this, we'll be moving on with the economy class seating. So, for our economy class seats here, behind the smooth stone full block, we're going to place a single diorite half slab on the bottom half right there to continue on the floor design. Then behind this, we're going to place a prismarine full block with a prismarine upside down stair facing forwards from this here. So at the Aeroteam, for all of our default economy class seating configurations, we use this blue design for our economy class seating. If you're in default without these blue stairs, then you can just use stone brick instead for a gray seating configuration. But this is what we're using here in the Aeroteam pack. So we'll do the same thing on the left side right here. So that's a direct slab going back, prismarine full block, and an upside down stair facing forwards. And this will go back for a total of 14 rows of seats here. So that's going to be direct half slab going back, full block behind it, upside down stair facing forwards. That's 2. There's 3, 4, 5, 6. There's in line with the overwing exits. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and here's where some funny business happens. So we can have our direct half slab going back, but this wool full block is now exposed from the outside of the aircraft, so we cannot replace it here. As you can see, there's a top slab on the outside there. So we're going to keep that white wool full block in place, and then place just a regular, or your regular old upside down stair on top of it, just like that. Same thing on the left hand side now. So back up to the front here, we have our half slab going back, full block behind it, and an upside down stair facing forwards. That's 1 and 2 rows of seating there. That's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and again, half slab there. We'll keep that wool full block in place, and the upside down stair on top of it there, that's 14. So, with the economy class section done now, well, let's grab the smooth stone full blocks, if I can spell it right. Behind both of these upside down stairs here, we have 2 smooth stone full blocks going up, right there. This will be for the aft lavatories here, and for this, into the center right here, we're going to place a direct slab right there to turn that slab into a full block. We're going to grab a birch door. We have a birch door closed against the left-hand side right here, just like this. Now if you have access to World Edit, what we can do is grab the regular half slabs with the replace tool and paste over that full block right there. That'll trip that stair into staying floating on top of the half slab when it shouldn't otherwise. So that'll give us that door design for the lavatories there, while preserving the half slab layer for the floor there. Next, we're going to switch over to the torch slabs, run all the way back up to the front here from the lavatories. We're going to run a row of torch top slabs running all the way down right here on the outer edges. This will be for the overhead storage bins right here, on the right and again on the left, running all the way down until the smooth stone, like so. Then at the back here, to finish off the aft galleys, we're going to turn this wool full block right there into a wool half slab on the bottom half. Wool slab right there. Then, this direct full block right there, we're going to turn into a direct half slab. Oops, half slab, like so. Behind this, we're going to place a smooth stone full block right there to close up that gap. Then a smooth stone full block on top of the direct. And in front of it, on the forward face of the smooth stone that is, an acacia button right there. That'll finish off the aft lavatories there. Final detail we can put in place is a lever, flipped facing upwards, inside both of those exposed quartz full blocks right there. That'll be for the handles on the rear doors right here. But with that, that's the aft galleys in place, and that is everything for the interior of the 737-700. So, with the interior now complete, that is everything for the in-flight aircraft. If you are building this aircraft with the landing gear retracted, then you are done with this tutorial. Congratulations! Just skip on ahead to the outro for some last important information, and I will see you then. Otherwise, if you are building the landing gear extended, that is once again shared between all 737 Next Generation members, so we'll just be using the landing gear from the 737-800 tutorial. So, on that base tutorial, use the timestamps in its respective video description to skip ahead to the landing gear section, and complete it all the way through. Once that's done, just return back here for some last important information, and I will see you then. So, congratulations on completing the Boeing 737-700. Thank you so much for choosing an Aeroteam design. We hope that you enjoyed building it, and we hope that you enjoy having it as a part of your Minecraft world. Do feel free to use this in any kind of publicly available project you like, given that you, of course, provide proper credit to the Aeroteam for these designs. So, if you have built this aircraft, let us know. We'd love to see how you're using our designs. A link to our Discord server is in the video description below. Feel free to drop on in and show us what you've done. If you enjoyed, please do consider subscribing to the Aeroteam channel to be the first to see our new aircraft when they come out. Make sure to have a look through the 1.5 to 1 scale playlist on our channel as well for more builds in this scale to see if there's anything else that catches your interest. Also, check out our second channel, Aeroteam Gaming, where we have more fun content with the team outside of Minecraft, like train simulator and flight simulation live streams. Anyways, that is just about it. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.